Hello and welcome back to Glory Hounds. We'll be continuing where we left off on issue 2, which is when Alex is basically sent back to the base through the toilet after the Saltwater Syndicate basically appeared, quote unquote, in the gallery to steal the dress. So yeah. Also, Alex's friend is stuck at the gallery with the Saltwater Syndicate, as well as Fenna. So, you know, it's not just the dress that they have to save. They have to save 2 people, too. Ooh, what's gonna happen? But yeah, anyways, well, without further ado, let us continue issue 2. Once my utter confusion subsides by the tiniest amount, I take a look around. I'm back in the underground computer room below Raoul's mansion. And there's the Rottweiler looming over me as I stagger to my feet. So, I decided not to put your name on it for now, but I was thinking that we could always embroider it later. What do you think? I was at the gallery. How did I end up here? Secret passageway. Pretty nifty, huh? A secret passageway. Into a bathroom? Nifty is not the word I'd use. Ugh, I'm soaked. I shake my leg, but all it does is get it onto my new shoes. Yuck. Why'd you bring me back here? We can't just leave them. They'll rob the place blind. I'm worried about Lou too. Are they safe? God, if the Syndicate doesn't kick my ass, Lou certainly will. Master Brevard pressed button before I could stop him. We have to get back there right now. Of course, but you don't think that you can stop a robbery dressed like that, do you? Lights? He claps his hands and the lights dim. Drum roll? He claps his hands again, and when the lights come back on, a mannequin has arisen from the floor below. Voila! Sicka! Now, I ran into a few problems deciphering your, blueprints. You have a very unique sense of style. But in the end, I think I succeeded in marrying functionality and comfort to make it a product worthy of carrying the Brevard name. It's light, mostly bulletproof, easy to clean, and most importantly, the suit can be worn underneath almost any item of clothing. I tilt my head. It's very flashy. I've outfitted it with heating and cooling elements too, so it should be able to withstand the elements. Let's see, what else? Tracking dots? The magnets in your boots? Magnets? And if you click your heels a couple of times, you can stick to walls. You did all of that in what, 2 hours? Maybe I really was underselling him. That's not all. Raoul snaps his fingers and a second platform rises from the ground. Is that a gun? Yes and no. This is a state-of-the-art grappling gun made for scaling buildings and covering large amounts of distance in a jiffy. You mean like He holds a paw up to my mouth. Stop right there. We don't want any copyright issues. Right. I lower his hand. I haven't taken it for a test drive yet, but it should work just fine for someone like you. Someone like me? What's that supposed to mean? Simple tool for simple man. Rude. Simple is not always negative quality. Don't worry, I ran careful calculations so it won't rip your arm out of its socket or anything like that. It's safe to use, right? Raoul? According to my calculations, yes. I thought you were a 4 times Inventor of the Year winner. I can't exactly go around testing grappling hooks. Oh, but I can? There is little time to be worrying, yes. Idle banter won't save gallery. You're absolutely right. I don't know if he's saying that because he agrees or because he wants me to shut up. You ready to suit up, Dusk Hound? Time's a-wasting. I ignore Raoul's flexing, running my paw over the jumpsuit on the mannequin. I get a feel for the imitation leather of the cropped jacket, the mask staring at me through with unblinking white eyes. It's kinda badass. Way better than the cosplay stuff Max is always looking at online. He'd be so jealous if I showed him this. Ready as I'll ever be. There is one final thing from me. The crow produces a little jewel box from his breast pocket and hands it over to me. I want you to have this. I made it with my own hands based on a design by Master Brevard. You're not gonna propose, are you? It is only a little welcome present. Upon opening it, I find what appears to be a star-shaped pin inside. Is this some sort of gadget too? Milo shakes his head. It is tongue-piercing attachment for use in costume. Aww, you made it for me. Only to keep identity somewhat secret. You really do care, huh, Mimi? The crow makes a sound halfway between a growl and a surprised squawk. Do not push it. They try to act professional, but they sound like an old married couple bickering sometimes. It's kind of endearing. It's cute. Thanks, Milo. He nods, feathers bristling. He looks adorable like this. Alright, let's get this show on the road. I'm overcome with a surreal sensation when I see myself in the reflective metal walls. I'm not looking at Alex DeRoy anymore, but someone else entirely. I turn, looking at myself every which way. Stretch my legs, tighten the belt around my waist. God, my ass looks kinda great in this getup. How is it, Spot? I'm beginning to see the appeal. My phone vibrates. The material of the jumpsuit is so thin that it tickles my legs. Who is sculling? I put my finger to my muzzle and pick it up. Took you long enough? It's a relief to hear them shouting at me again. Lou, are you alright? What's the situation out there? There's guys with weapons running around the halls. Where'd you go? I try to find you, but it's like you went off the map. I thought that I told you to stay put at the exhibit. There is another person at the gallery. I heard someone scream that they might have gotten the creator lady. I have to do something, Alan. You could end up hurt. So I'll pick myself back up. What if they kill her? No, listen. I'm the one who got you into this mess. I'm gonna get you out. Just hold on. They're coming. Gotta run. I rub my temples, as if the situation needed to get any worse. Spot, what's going on? I only now notice I'm hyperventilating. Don't freak out, okay? I took someone with me to the gallery. You did what? You absolute imbecile. I didn't want it to end up like this. I thought that it would just be... What? Fun day at Park? He narrows his eyes. I feel my cheeks get even hotter, and a pit starts to form in my stomach. I really messed up, didn't I? I figured that it helped me stand out less, and I was scared of going alone. You should have told us. You put innocent person in danger. I know. I do not think you know. Once again, we fight real criminals. You come close to dying at store only 1 week ago. Do not invite others to share that fate. I want to sink underground. Well, even deeper underground, and disappear. But all I can do is meet his eyes with my own. I know I fucked up, but I need your help. Is your friend safe? They seemed okay, but they said Fenna might be in trouble. They're going after her. Situation is most urgent. We will discuss lack of common sense later. Correct. If there's a civilian stuck at the gallery, there's not a moment to lose. Let's go save our friend, Spot. What's the best way to get back up there? By Gar, I am afraid. Secret passage only goes one way. The look he gives his boss is one that I haven't seen since I got terminated at my old job. This is why I told you not to press button. I grab the grappling gun and turn to the slide. There might be another way. You got one of these too, Raul? Only a prototype. Oh, I see what you're planning. We'll just go back up the way I came. It's a good infiltration point. Hell of a climb, though. We don't have any other option. I aim up and squeeze my eyes shut, aiming the gun up at the dark void in front of me. Like this? Like that. Now just pull the trigger. I swallow, and after rethinking my entire life, as well as what led me up to this point, I decide to follow through. For Lou. I squeeze the trigger. It's not working. Is the mechanism jammed? It should work fine. Try again. I finally open my eyes again. I'm still standing here, in the computer room. I feel almost weirdly relieved. Hate to tell you this, boss, but maybe you should take this one back to the drawing board. Suddenly, I'm catapulted forward into the darkness. I'm sick in my stomach. I'm going faster upwards than I ever did going down. Holy shit. Holy shit. Must resist. Urge to vomit. Rising. Something clicks, and my momentum slows. I'm left dangling for a moment before I pull myself up and clamber over the edge I found myself at. I pull the trigger of the gun again, and it detaches itself from the wall, cord retracting on its own. I look over my shoulder. The slide gets less vertical from here, but I still have a lot of ground to cover. It smells really musty here, like Max's room on a Saturday levels of musty. Scratch that. The Han, when we were still allowed to smoke inside levels of musty. I can see some light coming in from the far end, though. There's rows upon rows of tunnels leading into this place. I wonder where all of those go. Another grappling hook hits the wall behind me, yanking me back to reality and almost making me roll right back down the slide again. Whoa! I hear footsteps coming up behind me, then laboring grunts as the boss struggles to pull himself up. Need a hand? Please. As I pull him up, I realize that I hadn't considered how heavy he was before offering. And now I wish that I'd reconsidered. I got you. I got you. There. There we go. He stands up, out of breath, and we both peer into the dark tunnels ahead. And you thought that it wouldn't work? Pretty sure that it still shaved a couple of years off my life. So, how far is it? It's going to be a little hike. He claps my back. But it's nothing that this team can't handle. Isn't it, like, on the other side of town? How'd I even drop down to the layer that fast? These tunnels are very efficient. That tells me nothing. I wish that I was half as optimistic as this guy. My earpiece crackles and I hear Milo's voice. Are both of you still in the world of the living? Barely. We're in tip-top shape. Raven 3, over. Raven 3? I figured that I'd give you a code name as well. What do you think? Over. There's a moment of silence on the other end of the line. I am not Raven. But it sounds mysterious, dashing, handsome. Over. I am neither mysterious nor dashing. So he's not denying the handsome part. Naming sensibility leaves much to be desired. It will do for now. Goal is straight ahead from your location. Exercise caution and restraint. Thank you. Over and out. He nudges me, then tilts his muzzle to the darkness in front of us. We're here. I squeeze through the hole in the wall at the end of the tunnel and emerge in the bathroom stall. Raul comes out from behind me right before the mechanism activates and the wall rises up from the ground again, the toilet returning to its usual position. Everything's back to normal. It's almost kind of creepy. With the door still locked, it is very, very cramped. While this stall looks like it was made for a larger species, they probably didn't take multiple people into account. Rouse practically got me pinned against the door. Not that I mind terribly. I'm sorry. Would you mind getting the door? I can't reach the lock from here. Of course. Just let me... I take my time trying to find the knob. On purpose, but he doesn't need to know. He smells good. That ought to do it. Thank you. Raven 3, we have touched the ground in the men's room. Over. That is good. If possible, try to stay hidden from enemy, then engage in ambush. We're gonna fight these guys with weapons? That is accurate assessment. You do want to save friend and Miss Fenna, do you not? Normally, I would suggest avoiding combat situation, but that is not always option. Alright. I'm not sure that I'll survive this, but I have to try. We inconspicuously sneak into the hallway, which is empty now. Empty and dead silent. I'm getting some haunted museum vibes. Raoul's company doesn't make it feel any less off. At least, the art is still on the walls. Isn't this amazing spot? We get to stop an actual art heist. I'm pretty nervous, actually. Nervous? Pshaw. Why? You'll do great. They won't know what hit them. Aren't you scared? At all? A true hero of justice trusts in his abilities, his tools, and his companions. We have everything at our disposal to win this. Just stick with me. I'd be lying if I said that his ludicrous amounts of confidence aren't at least a little infectious. But maybe he's faking this thing just as hard as I am. He beckons me down the hall and I follow. Every noise that I hear makes me jump and I aim the grappling gun at every shadow that I see. Eventually, Raoul sidles on up to a corner and I crouch down next to him. Most of this junk ain't even worth the trouble, Polly. I know that voice all too well, being in my nightmares all week. I peek around the corner and see the Barracuda standing next to the para-janitor from before. Guess we weren't the only ones to change clothes. The junk ain't what we're here for, Ishmael. Right, we be here for that spotty straggler. Are they talking about me? I want to say something, but Raoul shushes me. No shenanigans. Captain only wants him tossed out. I figure that I can still have a little fun while he be at it. Got a mighty score to settle. If the captain gets cross, you'll be on your own. A risk I'll be willing to take. You did say that he ran starboard, didn't ye, matey? Right as rain. He did. Down the hull, then starboard. Are you sure that you didn't mess your directions up again, Ishmael? Starboard be left, correct? Starboard be right, you fool. I'd be left. Right. Left. Right. Consarn it. Why can't we just not say left and right? This is why you are still the cabin boy, and I be the captain's right-hand man. Don't you mean starboard hand man? Raoul slowly crouches closer and beckons for me to follow. I move as quietly as I can while the two continue their increasingly inconsistent pirate bickering. This is perfect. They're so loud that they'll never hear us. Strife of Life is the most recent work of renowned painter Ludwig Janikov. What deity did I anger to deserve this kind of bad luck? Raoul and I take cover behind the corner again. The audio tour voice is so loud that the fish and the parrot duo immediately look over at the painting. Did you do that, Ishmael? No, I don't think so. It depicts the struggle between nature and machine. Make it stop. I don't know how. Raoul beckons me, jumping out from behind the corner. They've still got their backs turned to us. Halt, evildoers! I swear on me bones, this be the last time that I be taking you anywhere. Like you be any fun to be around. The boss clears his throat. I said, halt, evildoers! Yeah, can it wait for a bit? We be in the middle of a... You! You're the fucker. I mean, you'd be the landlubber from the store. That's right. It is I, the Dawn Hound. Be ye for real? The parrot bursts out laughing. Did this be the man who sent you home crying, Ishmael? Throwing pirates overboard is a little hobby of mine. Well, ye won't be so lucky this time, sailor. Ye may be rather large and have muscles larger than a frigate. He looks Raoul up and down. And be rather handsome. But it still be 2 against 1. Raoul pulls me out of the shadows, and all of a sudden I'm staring down 2 extremely dangerous, most likely armed men. They stare at me like I'm some sort of oddity. Dusk has come. I flex. Judging by the looks on their faces, it doesn't particularly impress. Great entrance spot. Though I'd say your posing needs some work. Try something like this. He strikes a pose himself while I maintain uncomfortable eye contact with the parrot. This one wasn't here last time. They have a 2-for-1 at the freak store. Funny, I was about to say the same thing. How many curtains did you need to sew together to make that pirate getup? At least mine isn't made out of rubber, you scallywag! He takes a deep breath and slicks the furs on the top of his head back. No. Happy thoughts, Polly. Happy thoughts. Calm as the waves. The barracuda turns to him. To hell with the waves. What are you waiting for, Polly? Let's get 'em. Now, you know how I feel about getting me nails dirty, Ishmael. I just had myself a mani-pedi, and my psychiatrist said... He does have really pretty nails. And here I thought that you were a bird of paradise, or whatever the 7 C's you call it. Turns out you're just a big chicken. What did you call me? A chicken. Your friend there has a point. That's it. I've had it. You want violence? I'll give you violence. Come at us, fiend. The parrot charges towards us with a screech that could shatter glass, the barracuda hot on his heels. Okay, Spot. Let's knock some heads together. Easy for you to say. What do? I could not be less prepared for this if I tried. Think, Al, think. A true hero trusts his tools, his abilities, and his companions. While Raoul enters a fight stance, I aim my grappling gun down the hall, just past them. I hope this works. I squeeze the trigger and immediately surge forward as a hook speared into the wall. Dusk, strike! I tuck in my legs, only having a second to regret the choices that led me here before kicking the 2 thieves as hard as I can. They fly backwards, hitting the ground in perfect sync. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to stop this thing yet, and I soon follow, smacking against the wall hard. Ow. Spot, are you okay? I am most decidedly not. My back. At least this time I have no one but myself to blame. That was quite the stunt you pulled. You knocked them out cold. Heh, guess I did. I squeeze the trigger again, yanking the hook from the wall, and then I collapse. I'm starting to like this thing. Mr. Ahab, sir, I found this cat prancing about in the halls. Let me go. Oh, ho, ho, another straggler, eh? What should we do with him? Tie him up and put him in the brig with the curator. Camo, we can't have any interlopers swimming about. Har, 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 har. You can't be serious. By brig, you mean what exactly? Janitor's closet. How droll. We went over this in your orientation, lad. You're assuming that I understand even half of what you're even saying. Listen to your captain, rookie, or you'll be joining him, and no mistake. Did you take care of the dress like I asked you to? The dress is safe and sound, remarkably heavy, by the way. If you think I'm putting up with any of your shit, it would be in your best interest to comply, cat. Or what? I have 7 children waiting for me back home, and they have sharper teeth than you. As a matter of fact, I can do far worse than. Dawn has come to vanquish the night. The jig is up, Ahab. Let the civilian go. As I heroically dash, or well, attempt to dash, onto the scene, I come face to chest with the very large janitor from before. Except he's somehow wearing even less this time. Then it hits me. You're Ahab? I turn to Raoul. This is Ahab? In the flesh, laddie. You just be in time to join this mutineer here in the brig while we abscond with the poxy gown. Not if we have anything to say about it, right, Spot? Big whale man. Huge whale man. Spot? Honestly, as far as experiences go, big man hitting on me turned out to be a supervillain isn't even the worst thing that's happened to me. I could work with that. I can fix him. Spot? Right, I guess I'm here to kick his ass. His round, toned, beautiful ass. Spot! Right. Are you alright? I mean, citizen? Al, is that you under there? Yeah, it's... No. It's Dusk, Hound, champion of justice. Why are you wearing... What is that? Is that a collar? It's my uniform, citizen. Uniform? You look like a clown. I have to agree with your companion. Your choice of fashion, and I use that term lightly, leaves much to be desired. I mean, let my friend go, villain. Quite frankly, you look like you fell down a flight of stairs at a thrift store and hit every bargain rack on the way down. That's kind of harsh, but I'm being constructive here. But you may want to shop elsewhere in the future, for all of our sakes. Lou, you might want to duck. We lock eyes for a second before they dive out of the way, leaving plenty of room for the barrel of my grappling gun to connect with the chameleon's head. Ow! At the very least, it causes him to let go. He clutches his face and dramatically spins in place. You ingrate! You hit my nose! Oh, and the surgery scars that had just healed. I tip my muzzle towards Lou. Fetch the curator and get out of here while you still can, citizen. There's trouble brewing. Alex. Whoa, secret identity. Don't cause a scene. Right. I'll head off. Just stay safe, okay? You know how bad I am at following your advice. Powerful hands grip my shoulders, and the next thing that I know, I'm flung through the air head first. I have a split second to question my life before my sudden flight is rudely interrupted by the Rottweiler I crash into. Hate to break up a touching moment and all, but our ship's about to set sail, and we've no use for stowaways. The last thing that I hear is the chameleon's chuckle echoing through the gallery. Are you sure he's okay? He does seem rather out of it, doesn't he? Oh. Fear not, Dusk Hound has faced far greater challenges than this. You know, you don't have to keep up the act. Ahem. Sorry, force of habit. My head is still spinning. What happened? Ah, You've come to. Excellent. Did we win? Honestly, no. It could have gone either way, really. I sit up, feeling like I got hit by a train. He didn't hurt you, did he? After you guys got knocked out, they said that they had what they came for and kinda just left. It was pretty anticlimactic. Your friend ended up rescuing me from my unfortunate predicament in the janitor's closet. Gotta love the way this woman makes getting locked up in a closet sound like a minor inconvenience. You really had no idea your janitors were villains this entire time? We hired them through a reputable temp agency, I'll have you know. Rest assured that I'll have a long conversation with them once this is all over. There was one other thing. They tip their muzzle to the one of the hallways from which Milo emerges. So much for our whole secret identity thing. The perimeter seems clear. No other valuables stolen. He pushes his glasses up his beak. Thank you for checking, Milo. You can thank me by being more careful in the future, yes? I see Dusk has regained consciousness as well. Just about. When did you get here? Had suspicion that you might not be able to handle threat after communication went silent. It would seem that I was right. Way to rub the salt in the wound. Fortunately, you yet live. Unfortunately, Money Talk's gown has disappeared. Then we'll go after it. Do not be so hasty. Attacking Syndicate without plan is much like hitting head against the wall. Repeatedly. You will only end up with headache. Then how do we get the gown back? Our exhibition simply cannot continue without the star of the show. We have to get it back somehow. We will go after Dress, but we will prepare and approach Mishnu with caution. The crow glares intently at Raoul and me. Where'd you meet these guys, Al? Yeah, it's a long story. Milo turns to Lou and Fenna, his expression much softer. We will tell you another time. We have objective to complete. He takes a bow. Can you get back to safety from here? I'm pretty sure that I can make it across the street. I'll accompany you. I could use a bit of fresh air. Great. I'm sure Willie still needs someone to blow balloons. Balloons? Oh, you've never been to the Han? Can't say that I have, but I'd love to join you. It sounds fascinating. All right. I'll catch you later, Alex. Good luck, Mr. DeRoy, and be careful. Lou looks back at us as the two of them walk away, confusion and annoyance plain on their face. I know that look. They're gonna grill me something fierce. There's so much that I wish that I could say right now, but I do have a job to complete, and a job that we messed up royally. Once they're out of sight, I turn back to Raoul and Milo. So, how are we gonna find the Syndicate now? Fenna's gonna have our hides if we don't get that dress back. If you'll recall, I planted a tracking device on one of Ahab's goons last week. Right, I remember him showing me at Mr. Brown's store. Milo. Sir? Now would be a good time to check where our fishy friend is headed. Affirmative. Milo presses a button on his wristwatch and a hologram pops up. Target is moving towards Saltwater Canal District. On foot, judging by pace. They're probably headed underwater, if I were to hazard a guess. Are we even equipped to fight underwater? Raoul's face droops in disappointment. Well, you see... You are now. We are? We are? Wait, even Raoul's surprised? For the first time in what feels like forever, a grin creeps across the crow's face. He looks almost delighted. You two stormed off at the headquarters like idiots. You did not think ahead, did not consider possible outcomes. I did, however. He pulls out a small case with underwater breathing gear. Excellent. I don't know what we'd do without you, Milo. I would rather not ponder that, sir. What I'm seeing defies everything that I'd imagined. I've only seen parts of the underwater shopping district while in the subway. You can get cheap breathing apparatuses near the canal entrances, but I've never really had a reason to come down here before. It's deeper than you'd think. It's cold and the water pressure feels strong. Part of me feels like I don't belong here, but it's honestly quite charming and welcoming. Warm and cool lights adorn the entire district. We sim past restaurants, hotels, souvenir shops. There's even a sign advertising guided tours. I suppose for land dwellers like myself, it's quite the domestic holiday destination. Well, most people buy weighted shoes, just so that they can walk underwater nowadays. It wasn't always like this. Before Brevard Enterprise revolutionized the city infrastructure, the canals were little more than backwater districts, in every sense of the word. I remember reading about it in history books back in school. Aquatic folks had been making their home down here ever since Shippensburg was founded. In the early days, they were mostly merchants operating black markets. But over the centuries, they became an integral part of the city. They've been instrumental in maintaining Shippensburg's foundation. The soil here is soft, so much of the city is built on pillars. In turn, the city council does everything in its power to keep pollution to a minimum. The water is clear and visibility is excellent, so they must be doing a pretty decent job. I wonder what kinds of unique foods I could get down here. Enough exposition, Spot. We have a mission to complete. The boss's voice rings loud and clear in my earpiece. Yes, sir. But where do we even go? Is the tracker signal clear? Crystal, just follow my lead. They should be nearby. Tracking device is only accurate up to 10 meters, so keep eye out for any suspicious buildings. Copy, Raven 3. Over and out. Easier said than done. I don't know what constitutes normal down here. I haven't swam this much since I got my diploma. There's more stores down here than up there. Where do we even start looking? A hero follows his nose. That's nice and all, but I can't smell anything with this helmet on. It's a figure of speech. Just think of it this way. If you were a pirate who just came back from a perilous journey, where would you be? Me personally, probably dead from dysentery, or heat stroke, or scurvy, or a minor cut. The local pub, Spot! The perfect place to divvy up loot and discuss nefarious deeds. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous for a gang of thieves? True, it had to be that sort of establishment so frightening no man of law would ever show his face anywhere near it. We're gonna have to scout all the back alleys? That could take hours. It doesn't have to. You have your phone on you? Yeah, why? Can you load up the restaurant review app for me? After combing through the back alleys of the shopping district for bars and restaurants, the tracker finally starts beeping. We're in the seedy part of the district now. The place is practically deserted. I'm just glad to be somewhere quiet right now. Never have I had this many people look at me funny. I guess anyone would, given our costumes. We come to a halt in front of a quite possibly the dingiest restaurant that I have ever seen. Comidas criollas? Sandwiches, loto, scratches, frituras y pasteles. That sounds like Spanish, or something close to Spanish. Raul gestures to his watch and points at the door. This is their secret lair? Ha! Like I said, they're not the brightest anglerfish in the ocean. De Zoot Zeman? It had a 1.5 star on the restaurant review app. The only people to come near it are health inspectors and fellows in hazmat suits. And us, apparently. I'm not sure that I want to go in without the gang of thieves waiting inside. But I guess there's really no other way to get that dress back. So what's the plan? We just barge in? Excellent idea, Spot. We'll simply let the element of surprise work in our favor. Yeah, we'll just... Wait, no. Yo ho ho, splice the membrane. Another successful haul, eh lads? No thanks to the likes of you, Ishmael. Are you ear holes deceiving me? Are my ear holes deceiving me? You were just as unconscious as I was, matey. Through no fault of mine. Quit your belly aching, you two, or I'm cleaving your pay in half. We just pulled off the caper of the century, and it's all thanks to our rookie here. You flatter me, Mr. Ahab, but do go on. You deserve it, lad. 'Twas you that got us that janitor job to begin with, after all. What can I say? I phoned up some old connections, pulled a few strings, and got us a prize worth millions. Right. I suppose I did do that too, didn't I? You bloody well did, lad. I trust you haven't forgotten about our deal. Aye, but be ye certain you want to leave the crew behind, matey. Much as I enjoyed our little escapade, I meant for bigger things. The money talk scound was only the beginning. What kind of heist be ye planning? For starters, Syndicate, your days of wanton ransacking and thievery are finished. You can't just go and smash random windows. You may question my methods, but you can't question their efficiency. I jump in through the broken window after the boss. The pirates regard us with a mixture of confusion and fury. So much for the element of surprise. So you came to after all. Grand. We'll be taking that gown back to its rightful owner now. Har har har! No, afraid not. I don't know how you followed me crew all the way to our home turf, but you scurvy dogs will be doing none of that, I reckon. Not unless you want a repeat of what happened at the gallery. This time, you'll be the one hitting the floor, right, Spot? Are you crazy? It's 4 against 2. Listen to your friend mate there, Hound. There's no way you'll be winning this. I wouldn't be so sure of that. True, you may have us outnumbered, but we got Lady Justice herself on our side. And believe me, she is a harsh mistress. Justice won't save you from a one-way walk off the old plank, Don Hound. This captain doesn't tolerate mutineers, savvy? He stands up, head almost hitting the ceiling. He flicks his tail forcefully in our direction, creating a torrent that nearly knocks me over. Last chance! I want to run, or well, swim away, but fear has taken a hold of me and nailed me to the ground. Fear and, looking at the big whale in front of me, a little bit of something else. As the pirates of old would say, the time has come to rip and burn your Jolly Roger. Ahab rushes at us through the water, furniture floating every which way. I can feel the current surge past me. Milo says our gear was made to improve our underwater mobility, yet I can't help but think that we're at a severe disadvantage here. The whale winds up for a swing that Raoul only manages to dodge by the skin of his teeth. It hits a nearby chair, instead utterly splintering it. I can only imagine what force like that would do to my bones. The other pirates aren't far behind. Within seconds, they descend upon us all at once. Bloody barnacles! Don't let them get away! The barracuda effortlessly darts through the water. Raoul avoids a swipe from the parrot only to nearly catch a punch from Ishmael, who instead hits his companion's face, the brightly colored bird screaming as he flies through the water. At least one of them is struggling as much with this environment as we are. Watching everything happen in slow motion, like this almost makes it feel like some sort of strange choreographed dance. Before Raoul can neutralize the barracuda, the horned chameleon from before comes in from above. Spot, watch out! I try to respond, but it's harder to see and I can't move as fast as I'd like. Everything just feels heavy. The chameleon doesn't seem to struggle at all. He's moving as swiftly and graciously as his sea-dwelling companions. His foot connects with my stomach, knocking me away. His long, thin tongue extends with incredible speed and force, Raoul blocks it with his arm, but it wraps around, ensnaring him. I scramble to my feet only to find Ahab staring me down. Thought you can get away, did you? My life flashes before my eyes as I watch him wind up for another punch. I don't have time to dodge this one. His massive fist finds its mark with an earth-shattering force. So that's what getting hit by a bus feels like. My legs give out and I crumble to the floor. Spot! No! My boss is still trying to land a hit on the elusive chameleon. My femur! Alright, I can get on my hands and knees. I am not going down that easily again. Before I can even question if I'll ever be able to walk right again, the whale comes up from behind me once more. Damn shame it has to come to this, but we can't have you two mucking up the deck any longer. He slowly walks over to close the gap between us. He's so heavy that he doesn't even need to swim. If I'm going to help Raoul catch that fleet-footed lizard, I'll have to do something about the behemoth behind me first. I have to think fast. I look up and notice a chandelier above him. It looks fancy, gold, heavy. Only secured to the ceiling with a rope so thin that it might as well be invisible. And he's right underneath it. No time to waste. I aim at it, hold my breath, and shoot. It doesn't make it to the chandelier, and for a moment my heart sinks. Har! That pea shooter won't do you any. Until the grappling hook changes trajectory downward and the flat part hits Ahab square in his pirate's treasure. The scream he lets out makes the entire pub rumble. I can't help but wince. Me crown jewels! What have you done? Raoul and the other pirates stop fighting, and for a moment, we all just watch the captain collapse on the floor with the loudest of thuds. The captain's down! What have you done to him? I squeeze the trigger again. The cord retracts. I suddenly feel a rush of excitement wash over me for the first time since I started this job. Quick, what would Raoul say? Same as I'll do to you if you don't surrender, crooks! I aim at the parrot and the barracuda, and they both raise their arms above their head. I don't want no trouble. Just arrest us. I look around for the chameleon, but he's nowhere to be found. How'd he get away so fast? Hand over the gown now. But... Just do as he bloody asks. Ahab, still whimpering on the floor, clutches his crotch tightly. Captain, I know when I'm beat, and you beat me fair and square. Guess Milo was right about everyone having a weak point. A conventional one in this case. Ishmael sheepishly ducks behind the counter, taking out a watertight capsule normally used for deliveries. He hands it over to me, avoiding eye contact. For something containing a valuable piece of art, it's pretty light. You better not be trying to pull a fast one on us. It's the real deal. Captain's word. I don't think he's lying. Ishmael grumbles at me. You dogs ain't gonna get off so easy. You won't be so lucky next time, Hound. That's what you said last time, too. You want to join your boss on the floor? No. He yelps and staggers back. Other than every inch of my body hurting, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Let that be a lesson to you scoundrels. Justice always prevails. Instead of stealing art, start learning the art of sharing. We need to work on your catchphrases, with good effort. At last, the Bunny Talks gown is almost back where it ought to be. All's well that ends well. This has been one of the longest, most tiring days of my life. Strangely, almost one of the most rewarding. When I woke up this morning, I didn't think that I'd be facing down an entire pirate crew and actually live to tell the tale, much less win. And all because of my quick thinking. Maybe this is just the right career path for me after all. You did great out there, Spot. So did you. I mean, I saw you work back at the store, but I had no idea that you could fight like that. Wish things came as easily to me as they did to you. I just got lucky. Believe me, it took years of Milo beating the living tar out of me until I was even halfway decent at fighting. Great, something to look forward to. You'll get there, just a matter of confidence and sticking to it. For now, just bask in the feeling of a job well done. So this is what that's supposed to feel like? My previous job didn't give me any satisfaction, so it's pretty new to me. Confidence, huh? Something you will build with time. Milo, you made it! Even I celebrate when job is well done, yes? You may have made innumerable bad decisions today. Form is still sloppy. Teamwork needs improvement. But you fought like champion. He gives my head a pat. I don't think I'll ever get used to his strength. He could squish me like a grape if he tried. Mr. Dawnhound, Mr. Duskhound, Mimi. I am ever so relieved to see you come back alive and unharmed. I wouldn't say unharmed. I'm going to be feeling this for days, if not weeks to come. And you brought the gown with you as well. Do you think you'd manage to get that brute to relinquish it? I don't think that he will be bothering you again anytime soon. I should hope not. With that, I think it's about time to put this gown back on the mannequin, wouldn't you say? He presses the button on the watertight capsule that we brought back from Ahab's place. A cloud of smoke wafts out from it, so thick that I can barely see through it. Much less breathe. It's like someone dunked an entire perfume store in there. Raoul laughs while coughing. Ahab sure has a flair for the dramatic. Golly. Pot meet kettle. When the smoke clears, I hear Fenna gasp. It's empty. Shit. Empty? What are we going to do? Did Ahab dupe us? I don't think so. Hold on a moment. Raoul reaches into the container and fishes out a small card, not unlike the calling card from earlier. It's bright pink with gold lettering all over it. The font is so ornate that it's almost illegible. It's a business card. Camus. Does this ring any bells? He flashes it to me. I'm pretty sure that I'd remember a name like that. Hold on. The chameleon. He disappeared after the fight at the bar. He must have switched the capsules out when we weren't looking. Maybe even before that. Ah, yes. The rapscallion who tongued me. Phrasing. Can you believe he wrapped his tongue all the way around my... Ahem. I do remember a chameleon gentleman working at the temp agency I hired the janitors at. Can you contact them? I have been trying, but the number is no longer in use. Must have been a sham for the start. In more ways than one. He even double-crossed Ahab. I wonder how the Syndicate came across him. If only we could interrogate him. Ahab. I will look into matter further at base. I suggest we reconvene in morning and discuss new findings. I am sorry we failed you, Miss Fenna. Just bring it back, please. We will. You have our word. I tap my chin as gears start turning in my head. What's wrong, Spot? Nothing. I think I have an idea of where to start looking for information. I reach for the scrap of paper Ahab gave me before everything went to shit. It's still a little wet from my watery adventure earlier, but the number is still legible. I shoot him a text. What are you doing? A little personal investigation. I can't let them know that I'm gonna meet up with Ahab. I get a text back right away. Bingo. I'll be back at the base tomorrow morning. Alright. I suppose I'll look into the security camera footage around town. He's bound to have shown up somewhere. We all have mission. Only thing left is to execute it. We'll find that gown, Fenna. Don't you worry. I trust you will. Please, take care. She looks a little defeated, but a smile tugs at her lips. With that, this long day finally draws to a close. After changing in one of the bathrooms, I say goodbye to Raul and Milo and get to walking to where Ahab and I agree to meet. As much as I don't want to right now, I should probably give Lou a call. I hope to God that they haven't called every news station in town. Or worse, told William about what went down. It takes them less than a second to answer. So, are you finally going to tell me what's been going on with you? Because that sure didn't look like cleaning to me. What the hell have you been getting into? I'm sorry, Lou. My life's just been a blur for the past week. I'm pretty sure that I was supposed to keep the whole hero thing a secret. Well, you did a splendid job. Yeah, I really botched that. Technically, being sworn to secrecy was more implied than outright stated. Look, Milo, the big rust crow that you met, told me to invite you to meet up so that he can explain what's going on. Well, alright, but I've already got 3 blog posts ready to go and I'm gonna need a good reason not to post them. Because I said please? You drive a hard bargain. Well, you told me you found a new job, and I never would have thought that it would involve spandex. Neoprene. I feign a cough. What? It's mostly neoprene, actually, and some advanced faux leather. You know how ridiculous that sounds, right? I know. I can still hardly believe it myself, if I'm being honest. I'm just worried about you, Alex. That Milo guy was really laying into your friend while you were unconscious. It didn't sound like either of you were thinking things through very carefully. Yeah, my boss is also sort of new at this. But hey, the pay's better. Way to brush aside the issue. Look, all I can say for now is that I feel like I made a difference today. Like I'm maybe sort of starting to believe in myself. I might not have gotten the gown back in the end, but I kicked Crime Boss ass. A lemur passing by looks at me funny, and I lower my voice. I mean, I took care of things. Uh-huh. And how many times did you almost die today? Only 3 times. I'm still learning. Uh-huh. Listen, just come to the anniversary party at the Hand tomorrow, okay? I'll bring Milo and the boss, and we can explain the whole thing. Okay, but you owe me big time. I'll babysit for you as much as you want. Deal. After texting Max to let him know that I'll be home late, I yawn loudly, thrusting my hands into my pockets. It's chilly out, just a few degrees colder than this, and I have to put on gloves. Crowds of people pass me by, most likely none of them aware of what happened today. I wonder if it'll show up on the news. I mean, we did kind of wreck that bar. Oi, lad! There you are! Ahab is easy to spot. Aside from the giraffes, he's basically the tallest in the crowd. He walks on over. No, it's more like he hobbles on over. Guess he's still recovering. Hi. I don't know where to start. How do you even approach a mob boss you smacked in the balls with a grappling gun? Milo's training didn't exactly cover that. Before I can make up my mind, though, he's closed the distance. I swallow. I don't think I'll ever get used to how big he is anytime soon. Hope you didn't wait too long. We be dealing with some, workplace issues. Oh no. I just got here. Grand. Crickets. So, where to? I was thinking of having a few drinks down at the pub, then seeing where that night might take us. Be it your place or mine. Someone's confident. Might have cocked up at work, but that doesn't mean that this ship's sinking anytime soon. He leans in close, real close, then whispers in my ear. You look better without the mask, laddie. I shudder. So you do know? Hard not to. You don't change your voice or anything. And you got all those spots. You be the Dalmatian that was on the news when Ishmael robbed that little old lass, yeah? Wasn't hard to put two and two together once I saw ya with the Dawn Hound. See, I knew that face blurring did nothing. And you still came? What can I say? You're cute. Don't think that I can't see that little tail of yours wagging away there. Shit, it is wagging. Hells, I'm surprised you called on me, especially after what went down at the bar. I'm surprised you were willing to meet up after what happened to your, I'm trying not to gesture to his groin. My eyes are still drawn to it. Har! 'Tis a mere occupational hazard. We were simply flying different flags that time. Nothing personal, I'm sure, lad. Besides, you just got lucky. We creamed you guys. We still beat you at the gallery. Guess the score is 1-1 then. Har 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 har. Next time we meet, I'll kick your booty into the dirt and no mistake. He's surprisingly upbeat about the whole thing. I have some questions I wanted to ask you actually. Well, I'd be versatile, though I lean towards no, not that. The gown's missing. What? He seems as surprised as I was. One of your henchmen took it. I need to know where he could be. So that's why Camus scurried off like a dog rat. He clenches his jaw as he softly growls a name. Do you have any information on him? He chuckles. I do. Spill it. He be no friend of mine, but I'll need some convincing before I talk. I can be very persuasive. With a pretty little face like that, I'd be certain of it. Join me for a round at the pub. You're on. And that's the end of issue 2. But wait, there's more. What's up, dudes? Y'all ready to reach maximum altitude? Welcome to the second exciting episode of Cooking with Max, where we take meals that are gross and make them the most. New viewer dudes might be wondering, but gee, Max, you don't have a mouth. How are you ever gonna eat the food? And I'm here to tell you that your views are narrow-minded and stupid, man. No lips, no problem. When you're really passionate about something, dude, you don't let anybody stop you. Not even your roommate. Sure, he had to go get his stomach pumped after I made pasta, but you know what, dudes? That just gave him some room for dessert. Speaking of dessert, today we're making, drumroll please, where'd I put it again? Here, a box cake. Now y'all, I wanted to make apple pie, but my roomie won't let me try one after I used tomatoes instead of apples last time. But he's not around tonight. Instead, I'd like to introduce my special guest this week, Ishmael. What? Me? Don't be shy, my bodacious barracuda buddy. Baking cakes is something everyone can do. Even if your mom tells you not to after you get the neighborhood evacuated because of a Grace fire. That'd be, very specific. Don't even worry about it, man. I'ma show you the ropes. I got this killer recipe that I tweaked to make it super awesome. I don't think you're supposed to meddle with baking recipes. Baking's not a science, man. You just gotta trust in the process and follow your heart. But you don't even have milk listed on the recipe. No worries, I put together a gnarly substitute. I think I hear the captain calling. Mayhaps I should... I blended some mayonnaise and cream cheese with some vinegar to thin it out. Looks just like the real thing. It'd be looking gnarly indeed. I suppose I'd be lucky to have this helmet on, or the smell alone would end my life. Okay, let's get the show on the road before my roommate gets home. Just follow my instructions and we'll have an outrageous cake in no time. Oh, it'll be outrageous alright. So, this be where I mix the eggs and flour, eh? Do you know how many chemicals are in today's eggs and flour, man? None? We're using this instant egg mix and breadcrumbs? Not just any breadcrumbs, dude. Panko. That's what they use in anime all the time. Who be this anime, and why is she making cakes with breadcrumbs? It's to provide the truest structure. But the recipe be saying, following the recipe is for the birds. We gotta show off our individuality. How long be I should mix this? Until it's nice and smooth. All it be is wet and goopy. Just keep mixing, dude. Trust the process. Are you sure this mixture won't end up highly toxic? Methinks we shouldn't. You gotta stop limiting your own creativity, dude. I think it'd be done. And so is my sanity. Let me take a look, yeah, dude. Just gotta sprinkle on some olives now. Olives? What in the 7 seas do you need olives on a cake for? For texture, of course. I'd add chocolate, but I used it all up in the lasagna I made yesterday. You can't be for real! Oh, I'm the realist. Now, let's bake this baby. I suppose we'd best get on preheating the oven, eh? That'd take forever, man. We don't have that kind of time. Put her in the microwave. But the recipe be saying to put it in the oven for an hour. Who has time to wait that long these days? Just nuke it on high for 10 minutes instead. Be ye absolutely sure? It's what chefs on TV do all the time. It'd be in there. Fair winds and following seas. That means that we just gotta wait. And then we feast. Feast? You mean? And as my special guest, you get the honors of trying the first bite. Well, 'twas fun, but my job be done, so I think I'll be departing. Don't be silly, dude. This is the perfect time for a chat with our viewers. So, got anything you want to say to our wonderful audience? Just one thing. Hey Max, I'm home. And so is this guy that I brought with me. Rumi, you're just in time for one of my videos. Say hi to Alex, dudes. Wait, Ishmael's here? Spotty's here? Whoa, I'm sensing some bad vibes here. Ishmael, what be ye doing here? Captain? Listen, we'll be in my room. If you hear any weird noises, I got a new game. No problem, my guy. Wanna come down and have a slice of cake later? That'd be sounding mighty fine. No, heavens no. No, we're okay, bye. And he's gone. Well, Viewerinos, it was worth a try. Do you smell that? What? The scent of success? Shit, the cake! It's burning! Uh-oh. Well, I guess that's it for this episode, folks. Tune in next time when I'll show you how to make a sweet and sour strawberry oyster sundae. Gotta run! Oi, don't leave me with your kitchen fire! What in blazes am I supposed to do? I don't even live here! Harder, laddie! Harder! Yes, Captain. There she blows! Oh god. Ooh. So that was the end. The actual end of Glory Hounds issue 2. A whale of a tale. So I hope that I didn't butcher some of the Dutch words. I did go back to the video when I had to pronounce them, but the art gallery one is like obviously the hardest one. And yeah, that was fun. It's always fun. Ow. I am reading this at like 2 in the morning because there's things going on right now. So I like had to sneak off and read this. And this is gonna... Well, the recording itself ends up being like 3 hours, which I guess means that I can get 3 videos out of this. I mean, it's when it gets edited, it's gonna be less than that. But yeah. 3 videos or 2.5 videos. Yay. But anyways, so that was fun. We got to see, and I forgot their names already. Hound or Dusk Hound? I'm gonna need a way to remember who is who. When it originally came out, I remembered who, more or less who was who, but now I don't remember. So let's just go with their names. Alex. So we got to see Alex in his uniform, well, his hero uniform, and it kind of makes... I think I remember seeing, I don't know if it was like Works in Progress or something, where you would see him with a grappling hook. And I was like, oh, well, he has a grappling hook? That's kind of interesting. And you actually get to see him now and use it. And we got to see how proficient Mr. Brevard is with fighting. So he seems more like the tanky guy, and Alex is going to be like more... Not to compare with Batman, but sort of like Robin, where he's more agile, while the other one is the one that does more of the fighting. That would be interesting. But that's kind of how this group is set up, like in a Batman-esque group, where one is the Batman, one is the Robin, one is the Alfred. I mean, like, even Alfred in the comics and in the cartoons that I used to watch when I was younger, Batman the Animated Series, Alfred was actually pretty capable. But yeah. What else? Ahab. I kind of expected, because he's supposed to be, like, giant, that they wouldn't have lowered the sprites so much, but I guess, it's just to make him fit in the scene. But it would be funny if, like, the majority of the time he didn't fit in the scene and you just, like, saw his torso. But I guess it's, like, it would be a waste of a sprite. But yeah, I think it would have been funny to do that. Also, if, for, like, Red or Saber, if you guys see this, I'm recording the Patreon, so if you guys, change anything for the public release, then it doesn't show up here, I'm sorry, but kind of dealing with some stuff right now, so I needed to record this when I could, and unfortunately I can't wait, so I recorded the Patreon. Hopefully nothing changes, and if it does, then I'm sorry that it doesn't show up. But yeah. What else shows up here? I had anticipated seeing Ahab. That's pretty cool when he does show up. And I had not anticipated seeing, I don't want to call her female Clifford Tibbets, but, the female Stoat. And, I want to clarify some things that I said from the previous videos. So in case you're watching those first and then you came over to these like immediately after, any of the little connections that seem to be between any Echo projects, sort of like the Smoke Room or Echo, that I might have mentioned in the previous videos are purely in here for like cameo things. They're not actually related. This is its own little universe. I had spoken to somebody about this, where originally the story was going to be connected in some way, especially in how like the heroes operated. But they decided, you know what? Nah, let's make it our own thing instead. Which honestly is good because I mean, I like Echo-related stuff, but having other stories that are their own thing is good too. So I'm here for that. What else? What else? What else? Is there another screen after this? No, there isn't. Oh well. It's just gonna go to the main menu, I'm assuming. Oh crap! Did I save? No, I didn't. It's fine. But yeah. What else? I kind of have to wonder what the star tongue piercing is made out of, because like, what if he forgets that it's in there and then like, you know, he's gonna go and do certain tongue related activity? Is he gonna like stab someone's tongue with it? Although I have seen like little spiky tongue piercings, but they usually only have like little rubber, or not rubber, but like silicone or something where it's not actually spiky. Yeah. And it is true that his outfit it does not leave a lot to the imagination. Like, at least with Brevard, like, you don't really know who he is because he's supposed to be kind of reclusive. But with Alex, like, if you know a Dalmatian and you know how he sounds, then it's like, wait a minute, is that Alex in that kind of revealing outfit? I also have to wonder why the designs are like this. Like, what possessed Brevard to make them like this? But yeah. 'Cause I'm pretty sure Mila wouldn't have like gone with this. Anywho's. So yeah, you know, write down in the comments what you think, and this is probably gonna end up being a multi-part episode, so what you're hearing now is my thought process and me telling you that I recorded this at like 2 a.m. So yeah. So again, write down in the comments what you think, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Glory Hounds yourself, you can find it over on itch when it eventually goes public. And as you can no doubt tell, issue 2 took quite a while to release, but that's basically because, as far as I can tell, it's basically done. And from what I saw in I don't know who put it up, if it was Red or if it was Saber or if it was on the itch page where they said that that, you know, it came out for Patreon, but like within 2 or so weeks it's gonna eventually come out for public. So either today is the 5th, March the 5th, so it's either gonna come out at the end of this week or the end of next week, but then by then it would be like 3 weeks, so probably by the end of this week. Unfortunately, there's already going to be something else within this week and the next week, so you'll probably see this within 3 weeks after I record, unless I decide to interrupt what you'll be seeing, which I'm perfectly fine with. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, you'll see what happens when, you know, I release them, because, you know, this is for future people. This is past Nero telling future people, talking to whatever. I don't know. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. I haven't been getting much sleep because of issues. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.